Betty Boop can do, a saxophone can go. What a saxophone can, like Betty Boop can do. This little miss would never miss a chance for vocal tuning. And anytime and anywhere you can hear this lady crooning. An auto horn can go. What an auto horn can, like Betty Boop can do. Made of pen and ink, she can win you with a wink. Ain't she cute? Sweet Betty.
Betty Boop! Send her in! Hi. Lights out. Howdy, ho! Walk this way.
Okay.
Be seated.
Thank you.
Hocus pocus, hibbity bibbity, sibbity sand. Concentrate. I will now bear the naked truth of your baby days. I now see you on a steamer bound for a foreign land.
Is there anyone here?
No!
Oh! Excuse me. All by myself in the morning. All by myself in the night. I am alone, not a single soul is near. So unhappy. Dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. All by myself. Hurry up, quick! My hero!
Betty!
you know, you should do LSD because you're a real asshole.
Indeed. What up, cyberspace? Cyber fanbots everywhere. That's right. Americans and Odysseans over there on Odyssey. People on there, the Twitch. What's up, everybody? It's all right, prostate. It's Friday. You know that means it's time for the CREEM Stream. Getting creamy on the streaming with the best old teamy, as it were. And in the house, his house tonight with me. A is for ASHERELLA. Hello.
Hi, how's it going tonight?
B is for BECCA FERHLE'S.
Hey guys.
C is for she gone.
Hey.
And R, thank God, Roasted's back.
Woo!
Hell yeah.
Yay.
Hello, my freaky darlings.
Hello.
That's Twitter. I mean,
and S is for Stone Monkey. What up?
Oh, shit, I'm fucking late.
What are you doing, man?
I looked at the clock. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Welcome. And of course, bringing up the, cleanup. Batting cleanup is the one and only Trippy Poop.
I'm the anchor bowler.
Thank God, because I fucking suck.
I used to be an anchor bowler back in like middle school. Our school actually had a bowling team, and I was the anchor bowler for our team.
I bowled on a bowling league for like 5 years, like on a bowling team. I don't look like your typical bowler.
That. I've never understood why you would want to have an anchor bowler. I mean, shouldn't you be bowling with balls?
Yeah.
I heard that joke.
What is the anchor bowler? I'm done.
The last one.
Yeah.
The last
it's the person that's usually got the best record.
Yeah. Or like the best handicap, or like the highest average.
We got some bowlers in the house. This is an interesting development. See?
I'm just full of useless information.
Yeah, man.
You guys should know this by now.
I bowled on a league for like 5 years at least. It was fun. It was like a social league. It wasn't super competitive, and it was like a handicap league, so it really didn't matter what your average was. It was like balanced out. So like I could, I mean, my average was like 130, which is not bad, but I could bowl against somebody with like a way higher average, and because of like your handicap score, you could even out. As long as you bowled well for you, you'd be good. But yeah. Sorry.
It's kind of like
I am the
tangent.
Sweet. Well, let's say hey to some people in the chat while we can. Let's say hey to Mr. Scott J87, been here for a while, bro. Thank you for showing up. Zuka67, greetings. Original ASHERELLA on Twitch with Millionaire and Dumbbeard. Some of the cool kids are over there on Twitch. On the Twitch corner smoking them cool things with the cool people. Speaking of smokes, he went out and get some. That's right, them left-handed cigarettes. Hey man, they used to call them that actually.
I know Rosie was saying that just earlier.
Yes, legit as fuck. Bubonic, of course, greetings. Evil Dead Ed El Jefe. I salute you, sir. Victor Rand, greetings. Let's see, I see Mr. Madness. Miss Nancy's looking into her invisible mirror. She sees Nostradamus the Great. She says hi, and I say hi. Hi. Tater Raider, what up, man? More.
Which phone app does suck?
People. See, all right. I think I got everybody. I said hey to Dumbbeard. People in the Twitch. Man, and if you haven't seen like the TV series What We Do in the Shadows, you're really missing out on probably the funniest thing on the planet. Just saying. So I was just doing an imitation of the one and only Nandor. But
I thought the funniest thing on the planet was listening to the president try to explain what he was doing.
Oh, dude. Well, see, I'm talking about like legit intentional comedy.
Yeah, that's just hard to listen to.
It's not legit intellectual comedy. He's not doing that on purpose.
You would hope.
He may not be doing it on purpose, but you know, there's some smart-ass motherfucker in the back going, give him the script and send him out there. It'll be great.
Man. Well, okay. So we start with ASHERELLA. How's your week been?
Well, I'm always eager for Fridays because like my work weeks are always, they seem like extra long, but it's been all right overall. I got, which you guys know already, I've been talking about them all evening, new headphones, and so that's been the highlight of my week. It's the little things in life, you know. But yeah, it's been okay. It's getting way too cold here though.
Well, what's the temperature?
It's like 30 something. I mean, I'm in like the southeast, so it could be like way colder, I guess. But you know, I'm in North Carolina, but like I'm in the mountains, and I just don't. I don't have the wardrobe for cold weather, and I don't like to layer up and bundle up. I feel very like constricted, and like I don't like to feel like frumpy or like weighed down. I know that's probably, I don't know, weird. But yeah, I just don't like the cold weather. I need like a warmer climate in general.
Say the Rock Pit Knowledge. sorry, I was saying the Rock Pit Knowledge. Gold City Johnny Blaze. It's people, come on in. Come on in. There's plenty of room. Sit down. Have a drink. And all right, so B is for BECCA. So how's your week been?
Fucking amazing. So Halloween, I get a text from my husband's credit card company asking if this $1 charge was fraud. I'm like, fuck yeah, he's gone. So I mark it as fraud, and then I go in to look at the statement, and there was a charge in Georgia for gas, and this one was in Louisiana. And I'm like, hey, that's the route I take to go to Virginia and back. And then it dawned on me, I was like, motherfucker's trying to come home and surprise me. So I call him, and he actually answered. Which if he was gone, he's not supposed to answer. And he was like, hey. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, am I busted? And I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, every time you try to surprise us, I bust you.
That is so sweet, though. Oh my God, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, so he got here around 4 a.m, and he'll be here until next Thursday. So it's a nice, great surprise visit. We're having a good time.
Well, good.
Yay!
God knows you needed it, goddammit.
There you go. But does he also call you butt stuff, BECCA?
Wow. No, he is unaware that is one of my nicknames on the interweb. Now he knows. Yeah. So when I started streaming, he was like, I will never join the streams. I will never hop on. Don't ask me to do any of this. Well, he got to drinking and was feeling really good, and he joined Bonsaco's stream, and he was just chatty for him.
Yeah.
And having a good time, and Bonsaco's playing all these clips of me, and the look on his face was like, you need to tell me the story on this one. I was like, I have so many stories.
He's probably like, and that's why I love you, baby.
Yeah,
She's about to fucking eat my pussy when I'm done with her.
So there was a lot of storytelling going on for me, and he was like, none of this is shocking. He's like, whatever comes to mind, you have no filter, you just say whatever. He's like, I'm just glad you're having a good time streaming still. So yeah, it's been a good week.
Good. All right, Shagan, how's your week been, ma'am?
Pretty good. It's actually, like, next week is my last week where I get off of work, like, full time, just completely off. And then I have to go back to work on the 15th. So I'm not too excited about that. Yeah. I don't
Do you at
think
least get a lot of holiday time off?
Yeah, well, I'm a government employee, so we get all those ones. So that's nice, you know.
Yeah.
And I still get some time off, but we only get like 1 week paid, which kind of sucks. Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's bullshit. I get it. I get like more than that. Well, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we can have 2 weeks paid, but it's a really stupid rule where we have to take like we can use 12 weeks off, but we have to use our own sick and vacation time for it. So that's what I've been doing, and luckily I had a lot saved up. So I just took 6 weeks off. I couldn't take a full 12 weeks because I have way too much work to do, and so I couldn't do it. And I don't get that second paid week off unless I take a full block of the 12 weeks, which is bullshit. So like, even though I'm like taking some of it off full time off, and then I'm going to take it off part-time and still take off my full time, but I won't be able to get that other week. So yeah, that's stupid. They need to change that.
Is your PTO that you don't use in the year, does it roll over?
Some does, but it we have it rolls over, yes, but we do have like a cap that we have to use by like that April or whatever, or lose it. So I don't know. It's disgusting. I don't know. It is what it is. But
like my company, like we get a decent amount of PTO, like in off the bat, and then the longer you're there, the more you get. But if you don't use it, it doesn't roll over, and they don't pay you out for it. So like the last 2 years, that I've worked there, I've been like toward the end of the year, like making sure that I use up this paid time off, because it's like that I work way harder than work way more than they pay me for. So I'm certainly taking my paid time off.
Yeah, definitely do that. That's good. And if anyone is talking to Beard in the chats or whatever, he just 10 minutes ago, there was just blood curdling screaming from downstairs. And I don't know what happened with the cats, but yeah, it was bloody murder. And so he ran to go check on that. So
the cats were screaming?
Yeah, just shrieking. I could hear it through my headphones and everything from way down there.
Wow.
I have no idea what happened. This happened once before because there was some asshole cat outside and our cats freaked out. I don't know. So he's checking on that right now. So I don't know what's going on. Somebody was trying to talk to him. I don't know what he's doing. And I don't know what happened. So.
Wow.
And he's supposed to be, and he's he's watching the girl too right now. And so okay. I don't hear her, so that's good. But anyway, yeah, things are going all right. Hopefully, I miss work a tiny bit. It's a little bit. It'll be fun going back, but I'd rather be home. Yeah. So.
Indeed. So, let's see. Roasted, how's your week been?
Well, it's been kind of good. After 4 months, the saga of repairing the house has finally come to an end. We're back home. Yay! I never knew that a $9 hose could do $40,000 worth of damage to a building before, but
damn, dude,
it sure did.
Dude, there's $9
sure
hoses.
Did.
I mean,
wait, Roasted, was it the line that drains or something? Is it
no, it was a supply line.
Okay,
so it was
parents,
clean water.
they just had an issue with theirs started leaking too because the dispensing line was blocked, and so they got a flood too just yesterday. And I thought of you. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, they get expensive very, very quick. But yeah, I mean, there's lots of good things that happen. The owners of the house decided that it was a great opportunity to replace all of the floors with a hardwood laminate. So I've got hardwood throughout my house now, and everything's got a fresh coat of paint, and the insulation has been upgraded, and my furnace is not continuously kicking on now that it's below 70 degrees out. It's nice. It's nice. For the first time in a while, I saw an electric bill that was less than $100.
Are you glad it happened now? A little.
There is always good and bad things that come with any kind of an adventure. Right. There's positives and negatives, and the negative was that we got stuck in a hotel that was evidently some sort of hippie commune because of
A
all
skunk farm.
Yeah, they were smoking so much dope in that hotel. It smelled like they were roasting skunks. It was bad.
Nice.
But you know, the house got redone, and the house looks nice, and it is in much better shape. And I'm back home, and plus, you know, other good things happened this week. Lots of good things happened this week, which just kind of a good week. I may not have any hate for the 2 minutes. Then again, I may hate on Discord for 2 minutes straight. We'll see.
Indeed, dude. Well, good. Stone Monkey, man. How you doing? How's your week been, brother?
Tiring. Very, very tiring. No, hold on, move the mic towards me. Yeah, it's been rough.
Dude.
I've been having really bad issues falling asleep, so I basically found the cure of that, but it's not fun.
Yeah.
Oh, taking a bunch of pain pills and sleeping for like a day and a half.
Don't do that.
Oh fuck, man! I've done
Like,
that.
well, yeah, that's what happened
Don't
last
do that.
weekend.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. It was bad, but it felt good. I felt good Sunday when after I woke up. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I remember taking this shit called Lyrica, and it made me sleep for like 18 hours out of a day.
Yeah, I just took a 10 mil Vicodin and some NyQuil, and it was, I don't know.
I was gonna say, like,
Toasty.
Shit,
I
was fucked. I was fucked up.
I don't know, like, your situation, your medical situation, but please be careful with that. Like, please be careful with that.
Well, moving on. Trippy, how was your week, sir? Oh my god.
Well, sorry, I didn't mean to scream. We got a new kitty named Dexter.
Aww.
He's 2 years old.
Pictures?
I got him on Twitter.
Yeah, we need cat.
I don't. What about those of us who doesn't have Twitter, huh?
I'll send him into the fine. But
I mean, there is one of us in here that is, you know, never let on Twitter ever again. So.
Well, the night that we got him.
Oh, that's happened to
decided-
Beard like 5 times already.
No, like I'm
Sorry.
I'm permabanned.
I think he
Fucking-
was he got around. Never mind. Nothing happened. Nothing. Nope.
Okay. But yeah, Dexter decided to slice my hands up the other night. The first night that he got here, I was bleeding.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, damn.
He's one of those cats that loves on you, and then right when you're like comfortable petting him, he'll just decide that it's time to cut your hand open.
I have one of those
Apparently,
cats.
Oh no.
yeah, the previous owner said that that's how he played with her husband. Is the husband would like grab him by the stomach and fucking, you know, mess with him until he got cut up.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's he'll eventually grow out. You can eventually get him to grow out of that.
I guess
All I
I kind
usually
of play
do
with
is-
kitties like that because I'm dumb and I don't know. I love kitties so much.
So I'm on
All
blood,
I've had
I'm
to
on
do so
blood
far-
thinners, man. I just fucking bleed out
Yeah,
on that
dude.
shit.
Well, I'm off blood
right.
thinners now. I'm done with the blood thinners.
I don't even need blood thinners. I already got thin blood.
Well, that was the other thing, dude. Not only did we get it
Fuck.
ahead, I went to my oh my god, I always forget the vascular doctor. There we go. I want to say virologist all the time, but it's vascular doctor, and they checked me out with their little machine thingy that looks into your veins. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they gave me a paper that says no signs of deep vein thrombosis or anything like that. So no more
DVT.
blood clots left over.
Good.
That's fucking golden.
And I got to get off the Xarelto. I only had like 4 pills left, and I took them. So, not at the same time.
Right.
I don't know what would have happened, but yeah. So new cat, no more blood clots, and that's pretty much it. I mean, had a 6.5 hour live stream yesterday.
Oh god. That was such a long
But
stream.
anybody
Yeah.
who wants to watch that can go to my channel and check it out.
Entire species of creatures gestated and went extinct during that stream.
Absolutely. At
Yeah,
least.
Damn.
All right, and you know where we're at.
God, he's back.
I found it informative about myself.
Yeah.
At a point, I was like,
Oh,
"Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
very
yeah,
informative.
yeah.
I've learned things. I learned things about me."
Yeah, dude. Man. Yeah.
Please,
is what it
God,
is.
somebody donate money.
Yes.
Make it stop.
Nope.
Yeah.
Give me 5 minutes. I need 5 minutes, guys. Hold on.
Like the horns really bother me.
Oh, those are my favorite. I got to play with each of them. Hold on.
They look like grown out whiteheads.
Yes.
Or like I don't know. There's just something really. It's like crab legs, like crossed with some type of dermatological condition, and like maybe some type of growth. I don't know. I don't
Hey
know.
Ash, go on
Yeah.
Google and search for stinkhorn mushrooms because
Oh my gosh, I don't wanna.
they look like they look like slimy, skinny animal penises.
Oh my god. Okay, what were they called?
And they smell like rotting flesh. It's like
Stinkhorn.
yeah, they're really disgusting.
Yeah,
Have you seen- what are-
stinkers are not really that creative a name for them.
Have you what is it like that bleeding fungus called? Oh yeah, I see what you're talking about. Oh my god.
So I think that's what they look like, but
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah, there's some funky looking like members of the fungi. There's just
mushrooms
one
are
that,
great. I love
like,
mushrooms.
I like to eat them. I don't think I'm
Yeah.
gonna be eating any of these anytime soon. But there's that one. It's like the bleeding like tooth fungus. Oh my god. Oh yeah, you look that up, Chigon. You did it to me. I'm doing it to you. Look up bleeding tooth fungus.
I think I know what that
Tooth
is.
fungus.
Yeah.
It's like it'll trigger your like trypophobia and like all the bad feels all at one time. And I like blood, you know what I mean? But
Oh yeah, I've seen pictures of those before. I've never seen one, but yeah, I could see why someone would be like
Hey,
really
Bunkle.
disturbed. by-
yeah, if you came across that in the woods, you were like, "Holy crap! What kind of alien meat is this?"
Oh yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, if you just like found that in the woods, you'd just be like, "Oh my god!"
Right?
I have my glasses on and everything.
What are they called? I'll fucking pull them up and then we'll share them with everybody.
Bleeding tooth fungus. I feel like I get everybody distracted sometimes.
I want to poke it.
They look like a used maxi pad.
No.
Gross.
Oh, dude.
Good.
Right?
This is fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
It makes
nature
me
is
itch.
lit, yo.
Mushrooms
I'm
are the
scared.
best.
Mushrooms are the best.
They're the like weirdest.
They are. All right,
I lived in this like
give me a
really
second.
small old house like when I was in college, and like I lived there for like a couple years, and it was so old you could tell where they had like remodeled it to accommodate like indoor plumbing. It was that old, but you know, it was well maintained over the years, and I was getting really cheap rent on it, and like, you know, it was like kept up, except for like after the first year I lived there, the roof started leaking really bad, and the landlord didn't want to put any money into fixing it, and I would have like buckets like over the house to like catch the water. And then it was like the last couple weeks that I was there before I moved into the new place, because like I was like, I can't stay here. I know there is mold issues going on like in the ceiling, because like he wouldn't, you know, do anything to stop the leaks. And around my bathroom light, after like that last couple weeks I was there, like legit mushrooms started growing around the light fixture.
And if you look at your screens,
Gross.
the watch screen.
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
bad.
Come up any second. Oh, okay. I've seen that before. It looks
Thank you,
like,
Rock Pit.
Oh, that doesn't look bad at all.
It looks
That
like
looks some
marshmallow
freaking,
with-
like, yeah, like
It
some
looks like
fluff, some,
candy.
like freaking.
Some kind of confection.
If
Yeah,
you
that actually looks
squint-
tasty. I'd eat
Oh
that
my
shit.
god, you can eat it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's strawberry flavored.
Yeah,
Right,
fuck
right.
yeah. It's like strawberry
Yeah.
fucking jelly and some fucking goddamn freaking
Marshmallow,
whipped
man.
cream and shit, man.
If you
Marshmallow.
squint, it might look
I'm a
like
fat-
a
I'm-
English
I'm a-
muffin with jam or something.
I'm a medium-sized fatty. I like fatty shit, but I'm not like fat, so you know.
Hey, Rock Pit Knowledge
Always say, I
sends
haven't really-
$10. Thank you, Mr. Rock Pit Knowledge. I appreciate it
Thank
big
you, Rock
time.
Pit.
Yes.
Well, yeah,
Awesome
man.
chat.
Like you could like
Little something
cut
for
that
you, brother.
out. You cut that out,
Oh, yeah.
put like a fucking ice cream cone underneath that shit, and fucking fool everybody with that.
Ew.
Cause that look like something you'd have on a fucking ice cream cone and shit.
Right?
Yeah, it looks like strawberry like jam or whatever inside.
That photo is not even like that one's icky, I think, but it's not even one of the worst ones.
Sorry if you guys hear the cat meowing. He
Right.
thinks he's supposed to go outside. I guess he was an outside cat, outdoor cat kind of thing.
And with that
Yeah.
donation, we get to blast the cleansing flames of the archangels and
Poop my pants.
banish the poop the pants demon down where it belongs. So you ain't the only one that pooped your pants this week, Bill, dude. Did you hear
That
about
happens sometimes, you know.
you hear about the president and the Pope?
So I'm saying, man, I poop my pants. I poop my pants in solidarity for Biden, man. If we all do it, it won't be that embarrassing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Biden is so fucking embarrassing.
I support my president. I shit my pants.
I should ask you guys. I also heard that he called the Pope a black guy.
I don't know. I don't know about
What?
Fuck, I want to
I
make a
heard
shirt
he-
that says "shit your pants" for Biden on it.
that. Do it, man. I'll buy it.
I was gonna say, yeah.
I haven't heard that one, Trippy.
Let's go, Brandon.
I heard he referred to the Pope as a black dude. I wasn't sure if it was true or not.
I don't either, man.
I need some Photoshop skills.
Yeah, it
So-
wouldn't surprise
Trippy's like,
me.
maybe I just
Yes.
dreamed that.
I need
Saw the
Biden.
very best response to that. Joe Biden asking people to stop chanting that because he thinks his name is Brandon now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does. All right, so we got 2 minutes of hate. The section that we're in now, since we're in the room, Ink Sock. Beginning the day the way that they do in 1984. 2 minutes of hate. And Johnny sent me that thing, and I still got to like change it out with the background. So, y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Oh, because God knows I've muted myself like a gajillion times on this thing.
All right, it's a little East Coast. I'm a little West Coast.
All right, so ASHERELLA's got 2 minutes. She said she had 2 minutes like this afternoon. So obviously we got to go with the 2 minutes. ASHERELLA, ready? 3,
Yes.
2, go.
Okay, so I feel like a lot of times my hate is always directed toward my employment and employer. That's why I keep my job and my social media very separate. But okay, so I my compensation, I have like a salary, I have like regular base salary. Part of my overall compensation is commission based. So like my base salary is not all that much, but like I regularly work like way more than 40 hours a week. And, I don't think it is fair that people that are on salary do not get paid overtime at all. I don't get any kind of comp time or any kind of compensation for like this extra time I'm putting in. It's like, yes, I have a salary, but that is based on me working 40 hours a week, not working 45, not working like all this extra time and doing all this other stuff. And I get really frustrated because I was at work for like an hour later than I am supposed to be today, and it starts to pile up and stack up on you, and it's been one of those weeks where every day has been an extra long day, and it's not like I have this big padded salary either, you know what I mean? It's not like it's like I get paid all this money so I need to stop bitching about working overtime, because it's it's decent, but it's definitely not enough for me to be working all of this extra time and not get any type of compensation for it. And I would be even fine with just comp time, if I worked overtime, and then I got to take off like extra like PTO or something like that. But I don't get any type of compensation whatsoever for all these extra hours that I work, and it's really fucking frustrating, and it's just been really, really, really wearing on me lately, because I feel like I'm always working so much harder than I am compensated for, and I know a lot of people feel like that, but like legit, and I guess that's it.
Damn, 2 minutes exactly. Jesus, she's good at this shit. Holy fuck. Man.
2 minutes exactly, that's not bad.
Yes. How do you really feel about that?
Well, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, and I don't, even if they just paid me like, a certain amount, like, or what my, I won't go into it. Like, if you broke my salary down to hourly and they paid me that.
People push you until you push back.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? And some work conditions is like that, you have to establish a boundary, and it's hard to do, man, when they fucking, got you shekels.
Yeah.
So,
it really is. And like, part of my overall compensation package too is like, I have like a really nice apartment. I pay rent, but I have a big rent discount because it's like based on my job. And so that is nice, but I have colleagues that have 100% rent discount on their apartments that are like 3 times the size of mine. And I am expected like the same of them as far as like, after hours type stuff. Because I work in rental property, and so if like somebody's locked out or something like that, they could call me to be like, hey, go let this person in or whatever. And but like, I'm expected the same level of the people that have 100% rent discount rather than, and I mean, I still pay rent, and I just don't think that's fair either. So anyway.
Fair enough. All right, so Becca, you got 2 minutes?
I have nothing. I barely left the house.
You had your thing sprung, and you just kicking back with the loose back. I know what you're talking about.
I haven't even dealt with the school because I've been Kenny's home. I let him be as hands-on as possible. So he's been taking care of the daughter, taking her to school and picking her up and
creamy gravy.
Creamy gravy. That's all it's been this week.
Oh,
sweet.
I love my favorite.
Oh shit.
Stories are Becca's school stories.
I haven't had to go to the school lately, and I mean that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But, all right, well, cool. Let's move on to Shigon. You got 2 minutes for me, buddy?
Not really. Just this administration's kind of poopy. Not cool.
Let's go, boy.
So I don't know what that was. Oh.
Me neither. What was that?
Oh, it's Excel.
It's Excel doing something I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
That's all the hate I want to do right now. I'm good.
Has anyone heard from Beard yet? Like, did he survive the cat situation?
Yeah, so I don't know. They probably saw some kind of animal outside. I don't know if it was like another cat or like a coyote or a fox or what, or I don't know. Like, they're okay. I guess one of the cats, she had like a claw in her head, so we had to fix that.
Damn.
But I think that was Jack getting her back from the last time, because I know she got him last time. So, I don't know why they do this. It's like they get territorial or something when they see another cat outside and then they attack each other.
Yeah, instincts. It's kind of weird. Our boys did that for a while.
Remember that those female cats like to tell the male cats come up and see me some kind by absolutely screaming out a meow.
What?
See me sometime.
When cats are in heat, when female cats are in heat, they have a loud freaking come up and see me sometime.
Oh yeah.
Oh. No, I don't think it.
Yeah.
I don't think it was like that. It was like, it's It was like murder was going down. I don't know.
Man, I lived like before I lived where I live now. I lived in this little house, and there was like a couple of neighborhood cats that would just roam. They belonged to somebody like in the neighborhood, but they were like outdoor, indoor, and they would hang out on my porch all the time. And I lived alone there, and there would be like sometimes in the middle of the night, I would hear, it was crazy, like it would scare me. They would like, the one specifically would let out this crazy like meow streak over and over and over again, and it's like, is there like a, like seriously, it sounds like a demon cat or something outside, and I'm like, I don't even know what's going on. One time I threw a can of Diet Dr. Pepper out the window to scare it off. I was like, I can't take this anymore. It's like freaking me out. Anyway, don't throw pop at cats, I guess.
Well, Excel, you wanna give your 2 minutes? 2 minutes of hate?
The only reason I showed up to say is I really fucking hate cheese. Like, I'm really sick of people coming at me saying like I should drink apple juice, I should drink fucking orange juice, I should drink fucking grape juice because it's good for me. No, fuck that, dude. I hate juice. I don't want it.
Excel hates Jews. We all heard
it. You juice hater.
Mm-hmm. Juice will not replace us, guys. Juice. Juice will not replace us.
God.
Drink plenty of juice, though. Yeah.
All your base art belong to us, right?
You have no chance to survive. Make your time.
Somebody knows that meme. Got us an old one. It's it's one of my favorites, though. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Roasted, you got.
I mean, honestly, like juice isn't that great for you because you're not getting any fiber, really.
That's what I was trying to say. That's why I fucking hate juice.
Just get them back. Like, be like, I'll eat a whole fucking orange. Fuck you.
I'll eat the skin, the rind and all. What is it called? The peel?
I'll eat the peel, yeah.
I'll eat the peel.
I'm hardcore.
What are you fucked up that in today's society that they compare you to a neo-Nazi because of your choices for your personal health? Where you put your body. It's fucked up.
Dude. Nazi.
God damn it, Excel.
Roasted, you got 2 minutes for me, brother?
Boy, do I ever.
Ready?
Boy, do I ever.
Go.
$3.5 trillion that doesn't cost a thing that suddenly became $1.75 trillion, and it's all the GOP's fault that this Democrat senator from West Virginia is saying, now hold up just a second, can we really afford this? Oh yeah, that's the GOP's fault. And oh by the way, yeah, the problem in the Virginia elections was suburban white women.
Oh, just wait. I got a package on that shit. So,
yeah.
We'll
and 4.5
that shit.
4 freaking months to repair the damage from a $9 hose. Are you freaking kidding me?
That's insane.
And I'm done. I'm spent.
Are you?
Yeah, anybody got a cigarette? I'm done.
You ready to kick back?
No, they're all my cigarettes.
I got you, bro.
Yeah,
he's got a stronger one.
Actually, I quit smoking.
Do people still smoke after sex?
Yep.
Well,
yes.
It depends on how fast you go and whether or not you wait
sure.
till things get lubed up.
Exactly. That's why I said I haven't checked.
Friction is a bitch.
I always
Oh
put
my
something
God.
on to at least cover myself.
Dad joke
Waist
galore.
down.
Smoke
Waist
after
down.
sex,
Mhm.
friction.
Let me look at my pants. I'm not wearing pants.
Hey man,
Isn't
it's
that
not
big?
about the size. It's about what you do with it, bro. No, you know.
Right.
Don't be making fun of it, man. Don't be making fun
Hey,
of
it's
it
not
over
the
here,
caliber
you know?
of the weapon; it's the accuracy of the marksman that counts.
Yeah, but nobody killed an elephant with a BB gun.
Yeah. Well,
That's true too.
Axl Rose says he hits the bullseye every
Nobody's
night.
fucking an
But I'm
elephant.
just sitting here not trying to brag or anything. I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah.
Roy.
Okie dokie.
Let's play, please.
All right, Trippy Poop. 2 minutes of hate. Get in 3, 2, and go.
Shit. Son of a bitch. I can't think of nothing.
Stupid coworkers. Come on, say it.
I don't have stupid coworkers. At ASHERELLA's job. Or maybe Becca's.
Zuka says he smokes after he jerks off, so fair enough.
Ah, nice.
It's even better when you do it while you're smoking.
How many cigarettes do you go through, Zuka?
Like at the same time?
Yeah, have a cigarette while you're wanking it.
Because you've been using it old.
Yeah, but you get that one little beam in your eye, man. You know, it's like that one little
sometimes
conduit of smoke just pops right, keeps going over your eye.
Get a little crazy with it
because your eyes watering and shit. Yeah.
You get a little crazy with it, and you smoke a joint while you're doing it.
Or how about Super Troopers when that dude was using the fucking speed laser while he was whacking it, sitting in his prison.
Oh yeah, that is such a great movie.
Yeah, the second one
littering
wasn't
in,
as good.
littering in.
But there is a Super Troopers 2. I went to the theater, saw that. Super Troopers 2. I saw that in the theater, and I was just like,
Super Troopers.
Man, I should have just rewatched the first one.
You know, that's why I'm scared to watch the Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
Oh god.
I bought it. I own that. I bought it, the Blu-ray the day that came out, and it's still sealed. I don't even know if I want to watch this movie. I'm like, why did I buy this? And I'm like, oh yeah, just hanging out with my buddy I have known most of my life. We were drunk and somehow ended up at Walmart. I buy things.
Dude,
there you go.
I've definitely been there. Right.
Yeah, I'm like, well,
we're shit faced. We're in this building. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. It's like come to. It's like, oh, where did all this stuff come from? Or the best one is when packages arrive from Amazon. And it's not to my wife, so I can't bitch at her. It's like, oh fuck, what did I buy when I wasn't paying attention?
There you go.
And by that I mean it's like 1 in the morning, and I'm just like can't sleep yet, and so I'm on Amazon. And then a couple days later, something arrives that I vaguely remember looking at. It's like, fuck! Monkey did it again. Now he has to figure out how to tell his wife why there's more computer parts sitting here on his desk.
Now I got an old school Sega Genesis 6-button, right? With a USB on it because somebody turned me on to Vim and the Kega deal. It's called an emulator, right? And
yes, sir.
Yeah, man, zombies ate my fucking neighbors. That is that is crack. Yes.
I only emulate games that I've already owned. I may not own them currently, but that's because my systems have been taken from me, and I don't have the games physically. That's all right. I'm not gonna buy another a game for like the 20th time.
Right, man. I love the emulator shit.
Yes. I do too. I got an NES. I got 2 NESs, or no, it's one NES, 2 SNES, and a 64 that all are USB. I need to get a GameCube.
Nice.
I have a Switch, and I've got on my Switch you can download the NES, Super NES, 64 emulators basically, but it is on the Switch. But you can play almost. I mean, they have so many of the old Nintendo games, and then I also have one of the throwback little Sega Genesis consoles that has tons of pre-games preloaded on it, and I just love playing the retro games. I don't know. I think it's so much fun.
Yeah, I think I might buy myself a Switch for Christmas this year since work's paying us double time for overtime.
You should, and if you get Animal Crossing, I'll send you my friend code. I love Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I want to play with you, Ash.
Yeah, we need to. My island is called St. Pumpkin. You can buy
Mine's
0
called,
t-shirts in my tailor shop.
That's cool. I'm not surprised. Mine's called Flavor Town.
Nice.
Although I am currently hooked on Final Fantasy 14, even though I'm not a Final Fantasy person. It's kind of
Is
weird.
that the one with lightning?
That's the MMO.
Yeah.
It's super popular right now.
It's the one that it's all my fault that it's consuming all the time.
No. Yeah.
It's really my fault.
Yeah, I have to yell at Excel because I pulled him into a WoW Classic and then he pulled me into Final Fantasy 14.
Nigga, I can't read.
Fair enough. Well, we are in the TV room, fam. Right?
I did that. In case you needed to know. Hey, that was fun. Pinoid, man, he's like the Flash. He just runs through streams and then he's gone. It's crazy. I don't even think he joined. He just said some stuff.
Poor buddy.
I was a Final Fantasy 8 player.
Nice.
Only because my twin friends they had 7, 8, and 9, and so one had 7, the other one wanted 9, so I was left with 8, and I got used to it and liked it because that's what I had to play. It was okay. Wasn't superly my thing.
But it was definitely a game to play.
Yeah.
It was very popular. I remember it.
It was nice. It was nice when they got a PlayStation 2 and Grand Theft Auto, though. That was fucking fun.
Nice. See, I don't remember that era because I wasn't, into gaming and shit. I was, trying to be the man. You know what I'm saying? But, all right, so on that note, we are in the TV room. Everybody want to plug up and hang out? We're going to watch, we're going to look at some new stuff. I do want to bop through this fairly quickly, so I've got places to stop for a couple of these because I do want to share some images. Oh, I forgot.
We yell over it and stuff.
Well, what I'll do is we can watch it and then stop. All right, 'cause I've got black places to stop now.
Disgusted and upset. That's how neighbors in Southwest San Antonio feel after a nearby business displays an anti-Semitic sign making fun of how Jewish people were killed during the Holocaust. Now, there are pictures of that banner all over social media, but we're not going to show them to you tonight because, as you're about to see, neighbors and leaders say that hate has no place in our community. That is really actually a shock. It's not the kind of thing that people in this or any section of San Antonio were used to seeing. The business displaying an anti-Semitic banner. This one had a swastika and joked about the cruel way that Jews were killed in concentration camps. This is how we failed. We went to the Budget Automotive Repair Shop on Quintana Road today looking for answers. Nobody was there and no one picked up the phone. Also, the sign was gone. We don't know exactly when it was taken down, but a rep with Councilwoman Terry Castillo's office told us that it was up as recently as yesterday. Neighbors aren't ready to move past.
It's been paused.
It's what?
It said you paused it.
Now it looks okay. We dropped audio.
No, man. Here's the deal. All right, I have to kill the chat to be able to do this. This thing is
okay.
Yeah, it's like the scripts that are running the visuals, right? It's just it's overpowering and they like get confused. So I mean that's the best part.
I read some boomer.
No.
I don't know how to fix it, Excel. So.
With Councilwoman Terry Castillo's office told us that it was up as recently as yesterday. Neighbors aren't ready to move past it.
I'm actually upset. Yeah, you're anything disgusted because what the heck?
That's the same reaction people in a Northside neighborhood had last week when a group dropped off anti-Semitic flyers outside their homes. Everyone who spoke with KSAT said it was wrong. Councilwoman Castillo, who represents this section of San Antonio, released a statement saying in part, quote, "We are horrified by the anti-Semitic signage that appeared this week on a Southside business. This hate speech has no place in our neighborhoods." Now people are hoping to never see anything that hateful ever again. They say point blank, it's not welcome in San Antonio.
Anybody putting out that stuff is like it's uncalled for.
Now, we did speak with local Jewish leaders who are aware of that banner. They're denouncing it, and in response, they plan to hold a community event for everyone because they want to prove how open and loving San Antonio is to all groups.
Okay. All right. So it'll take a second for it to pop on the screen, but I want you to see what they showed. In the package, on the page that was on, they showed this. Okay? This old ad from the Daily Stormer and shit, right?
Uh-huh.
All right, this is I need to show this version. Yeah.
Disgusting. Totally disgusting.
Right. But look at the date. All right. This is what got me. It's like, because, you know, I mean, there was just like this narrative about fucking Asian.
How I see it. Thank you.
Yeah. You know, there was this whole campaign about Asian, you know, violence towards Asians, you know, but not really addressing who it really was that was attacking them, right? And now this shit.
Yeah, we know.
I think it's fake because look at the day. March the 3rd, 2017.
Uh-huh.
And that's what the image they were using. So I don't know if that was the image that was seen or whatever, but I don't know. Just smells funny. Smells funny to me.
That's a defunct website too, right?
Yes, exactly. The Daily Stormer went tits up. They're in the deep web. You have to have an onion toward I don't know, some shit like that to be able to find them and shit. You know, they've
Who knows that shit?
They were yeeted pretty fast. You know, I was like, you know, it's like, well, yeah.
I thought so. I remembered.
I'm not in agreement with the shit they think and say, but you know, I believe that the First Amendment says that they can say whatever the fuck they want to, just like you can.
Right.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's keep rolling. We got more news. Newsy.
I'm pretty much an all of the above energy type guy. I support wind. I support solar. I support thermal. I support hydrogen. Unlike many of my Democratic colleagues, I support nuclear, particularly the new small modular reactors. But I also support oil and gas, and that's why I'm supporting this bill. It's a rational, reasoned plan. It's an energy policy that looks like somebody designed the damn thing on purpose, because that's not what we have right now. President Biden has talked a lot about his plan. I don't completely understand it. As best I can tell, he wants us at some undetermined time in the future to be able to produce our energy without nuclear, without oil, and without natural gas, and certainly without coal. He doesn't really explain how we're going to get from where we are today to that future that he envisions, which is why you're seeing the disruptions in the energy supply throughout the world. Short term, as best I can tell, President Biden and Secretary Kerry's plan is let's don't produce our own fossil fuels. Even though the American economy, the greatest economy in all of human history, gets 80% of its energy from fossil fuels. He wants to end that abruptly. He doesn't want us to produce our own fossil fuels. He wants us to buy natural gas and oil from other countries and basically give countries that hate us more money so they'll have weapons. They can buy weapons to try to kill us. And that doesn't make any sense to me. And it doesn't make any sense to the American people. Final point, you can't talk about energy without talking about climate change. The climate is changing. It's changing in my state. Our sea levels are going up about a foot a century. There are a multitude of reasons for it. We need to address it. But I see, and I think these colleagues of mine see, the changes in our climate as a discrete scientific problem. Unlike President Biden and Secretary Kerry and the other Trotsky-like wokers, they see climate change as a religion. And you can't talk about it unless you follow their dogma. It's much like their new critical race theory. And it's not popular with the American people, and it's not going to solve the problems that we face in terms of the changes that are taking place in our climate. This plan will.
Okay, so it was just the comment on the seemingly insane. It's like they want us using Russian gas. Killing Joe tips $20. God damn it, dude. Grassy ass, as they say. Thank you.
Did he do that
He said
twice?
he said enjoy. Yeah. No, I didn't. It just didn't pop up on the screen. Did y'all see it pop
I saw
up?
it on the watch page. I saw it on the watch page.
Oh wow. Well,
like a while ago.
Let him do it again, man. Yeah. It's kind of like last night, with your, hold on a second.
I had my notifications through Streamelements actually on mute. I didn't notice it until Sinister Charlie donated.
Right.
And I was like, thank you. So I see on your watch page, Killing Joke sent 20 and said something. I think he said thanks.
He said enjoy. He said enjoy.
Oh, enjoy.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's the second time I've seen it, though. Sorry. That wasn't... I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm trippy.
Are you?
I mean, trippy.
I'm pooped out, man. Okay? I've been photoshopping shit all day. Sorry, go ahead. Right.
Give me a second here. Yeah, it looks like the Streamelements thing is not working right.
Yeah, mine straight up said it right on OBS that I had the notifications muted, and I'm like, right after I said, I don't even have them muted or anything. I'm like, it's fucking dumbass. It says muted right there.
Right.
Well, I mean, everybody that was watching knows. Having me a good
There
old
it
time.
goes. There it is. All right. Sorry, y'all. It's the dumb stuff. All right. So, all right. We recognize this Australian dude. I can't remember the man's name. He's with Sky News Australia, the older guy, who's very based, very cool, and he's retiring. So I did want to give a nod to him, man. This is some fucking. This dude loves to take people to school, like this lady here who's a expert. They're talking about climate change. So here we go. Check this out.
Alice, you've been speaking most of the night. When I asked Tanya Plibersek,
we'll fact check that one for you.
When I asked Tanya Plibersek, was the deputy leader of the Labor Party and the potential deputy prime minister, was carbon dioxide the big issue in relation to climate change? And she said yes. I then said, well, that being the case, what percentage of the atmosphere is made up of carbon dioxide? And she said, I don't know. And I said, hang on, you don't know what percentage of the atmosphere is carbon dioxide, and yet you're prepared to stand the economy on its head to address a problem, the detail of which you don't know. So when I then explained that the percentage of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, Alice, is how much? Alice, how much of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere?
To answer the question, Scott Morrison has said he believes in climate change, and that he wants to do something about it.
Alice, how much carbon dioxide is the problem? How much carbon dioxide is there in the atmosphere?
I'm not a scientist. I don't know. I'm a
well, hang on. If you go argue the case, you ought to know it's 0.04%. And of that 0.04%, human beings around the world create 3%. And of that 3%, Australia creates 1.3%. So for the 1.3% of 3% of 0.04%, we then decide to have a national economic suicide.
Alan, I'm happy to do this.
It takes a lot of confidence to wear
after the shooting.
Dude, I mean, it's like the whole the show game that we're not going to talk about because we'll get yeeted about.
Ash commented on his blazer.
What?
Ash said it takes a lot of confidence to wear a pink blazer.
It does, doesn't it?
Peach, actually, but yeah, he's making it work.
Sorry.
Good trip.
I like that, man. I'm really going to miss his fiery tongue, man, and his based opinions. So, we salute him. All right, so Excel is in here. We on Wednesday we were talking about the Kyle Rittenhouse thing. Well, this exchange happened during the trial, and it's an epic.
It's been a nice trial.
It's just this is all we need to hear to let you know how it's going.
And you've already established that after the shooting, Mr. Rosenbaum never says a word, correct?
Correct.
You don't know, as you sit here today, what Mr. Rosenbaum was thinking, do you?
You mean at the time of the shooting?
Yes. Or at any point in his life. I mean, you have no idea what Mr. Rosenbaum was ever thinking at any point in his life. You have never been inside his head. You never met him before. You don't know.
I've never exchanged words with him, if that's what your question is.
So your interpretation of what he was trying to do or what he was intending to do or anything along those lines is complete guesswork, isn't it?
Well, he said, fuck you, and then he reached for the weapon.
Okay. Let's talk about that. At that very moment,
Here we go again with another.
I freaking love that.
Yeah.
The prosecution
Wow.
sucks.
They really do. They really do.
It's like they're so bad. It's like people are saying, like, are they trying to throw this? Like,
Well, maybe. Like, I mean, couldn't hate them if they were.
I know. There's like suspicion, like, oh, what if one of them was like a glowy? They're trying to.
Might as well be.
Well, it's a
Shit.
very public trial, and they sensationalized everything that they're hoping that alone will get them a win.
Most of the glowies were provocateurs. They didn't engage in. See, that's how they play shit, right? They rile the people up, and then they stand back while people hurt each other.
Yeah,
and you know, and that's their job, is to destabilize. You talk about, you know, it's like that's what actually a psyop is. Is something.
And then you get these cocky prosecutors that think they have a winner and don't have to do much work for the actual case. And
all right, so there's two kinds of prosecutors, right, Becca? There's the kind that are lawyers, and then the kinds that are politicians.
Correct.
You're right, and usually if the big guy's a politician, it's going to all be political hand jobs down the line. So this guy's an assistant or deputy DA. The main DA is not even taking the case. He's just throwing his deputies at it and let them fucking, you know, fall on their swords.
Yeah, I think there was some kind of conflict of interest, and that's why the DA isn't the head on this one.
Well, and then was this thing about some judge diddling the link the dude sent me didn't work. So if you're out there, I couldn't find any kind of video to back up what the article said. You know.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm sorry about that. I'm just taking a little drink there. All right, we'll keep rolling. We got plenty of time. We're doing good.
Here we go again with another person saying, oh, if you're not happy here in America, why don't you just leave? Once again, I didn't realize moving to a different country was free. You willing to find me a house or apartment and pay for housing? You willing to help me pay to renounce my U.S. citizenship to get me the fuck out of here? Are you willing to help pay to help me move my shit over there? Oh, you're not? Then shut your damn mouth.
I would start
because again, if I had the money to hop aboard a plane and
what? Chigon?
Oh, no, it's working. I'm sorry. There's just a delay. But
What am I looking at though?
Yeah, like I'm willing to start a GoFundMe to get rid of this. Whatever.
Man, yeah, people are all over Twitter saying, "Yeah, I'll throw whatever money you need, honey."
Yeah,
you know,
I don't want to
pack your shit and fucking go.
Oh my god! Like, what? I get so irritated with people that it's like, okay, the United States, we have our issues. For sure. But we are like the first of first world countries. And we really are the most free country in the world. And I hate when motherfuckers take that shit for granted. It's like it was a cosmic roll of the dice that this bitch was born in the United States and she has no fucking like clue how fucking lucky she has it. And like I hate this fucking type of attitude where they take like their comfort, you know, for granted. You know, it's like she's probably living more comfortably than like 70-80% of the world. And like, so what? You know, if like not everybody like agrees with your like, you know, social opinions or political opinions, or you don't agree with what the government's doing, you have it goddamn fucking easy, and you need to fucking recognize. Like, it just pisses me off like so bad.
Yeah, I don't support buying her a ticket to Germany. I would send her to the Middle East.
Exactly.
I say anyone that bitches about this country, they all need to go to the Middle East.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with
Somalia.
like.
Let's send them to Somalia.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting to like improve, you know, where you are. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But yeah, it's clear that there's so many people that have no idea what it's like anywhere else and how good it is here. Like if you're gonna say like racism is like the worst in America and we like started it and like that kind of shit, it's like, whoa, you don't know anything.
Right. You don't know shit from Shinoa, as they say.
I fully support plastic bags over these people's heads. Just saying.
to Germany yesterday, I would have. I don't care what kind of quarantining I have to do to get over there because I'm half vaccinated.
She wants to go to Germany because Chrissy Winters is there. I bet.
I don't care if it's 2 weeks, a month.
Remember that name?
3 months, or a whole goddamn fucking year. But since I ain't got the money for that, I'm stuck here.
Get a job.
So, why don't you just leave my page? Nobody asked you.
You're putting it out on fucking social media. Yeah, you are.
Check this out. I had to put this in. This is just some shit off of Twitter, right?
Nada. Are you doing dishes? I hope so.
Oh my God, that
edibles on campus. One family says their daughter, a middle school student, got sick after eating one.
And those parents are talking about their concerns only on 2 tonight. Their daughter goes to O'Donnell Middle School in Alief ISD, and that is where they...
Yeah, this is something that did happen, okay? I don't know, Becca, are you familiar? I think this is in Texas, all right?
It's in Texas. Alief is like north side of Houston. It's kind of a decent area. They have their bad areas.
It's like middle class, upper middle class type.
Yeah, it's definitely working class.
Mm-hmm.
So
right. Yeah, so
they have a lot of issues in Alief.
Yeah, well, this kid took an edible and
like I said, eat them and smile. Right.
Say the young girl was given a marijuana edible.
KPRC 2's Brandon Walker is live on that campus tonight. Brandon, the 7th grader, says that she thought it was just a regular cookie.
Yeah, that's according to her mother, Chris, who says that the student who brought those cookies to school told her daughter they were laced after she had eaten one. Tonight, the mother says her daughter is fine, shaken, though, because she feels as though she tried drugs.
That's just totally unacceptable.
Ashley Smith says what's unacceptable is the report card of sorts she received yesterday.
She tested positive for marijuana.
This year analysis spells that out. Her 12-year-old daughter testing positive for cannabinoids. How so?
She basically told me that it was a student there distributing edibles out.
2 pounds worth, Smith says she found out. Loaded cookies handed to students during their lunch break at O'Donnell Middle School in Alief. Smith says her daughter, a 7th grader, didn't know the cookies were laced, ate half of one, then realized something didn't taste right.
She told her gym coach that she wasn't feeling well, and when they brought her to the office and she told them everything that what happened, her and multiple other students had received some of those cookies.
Cookies.
How many of these cookies did she eat before she realized that it didn't taste right?
And I'm sorry. Yeah, right. Girl,
They said like half the cookie.
Like, I'm sorry. I don't even believe it was an accident. Like, I know how middle school kids are. Like,
right. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. True story though about edibles. This was a Halloween party. It was like I don't know, a few years back, and there was like this whole plate of food or like table of food and snacks, and there was a plate of Rice Krispie treats, and I picked up one and I had a couple bites, and I was like, okay, I smell weed. And then, it was a party. And so I looked around and I figured somebody was smoking. And then I take another bite. And then I smell the Rice Krispie treat. And it turns out it was made with like cannabis butter, like in the Rice Krispie treats. And I was like, all right. Well, I mean, it wasn't like a big deal, but I wasn't, and I didn't know. And I'm like, why did they put these on the regular food table?
Yeah. I know a dude who makes cannabis butter all the fucking time. Like, he'll post tubs of it on Facebook, and they'll be like, I just made some cannabis butter, and it's like full-on fucking butter tubs. Yeah.
I made like THC oil for like brownies, It's not that hard to do, but yeah, they just had it out there with like the regular snack table.
All right, let's put this is well, we can go ahead, man. It's just so there was some, All right, here we go.
And cookies.
I want to bring back Congressman Jim Jordan of the great state of Ohio. And so here are the 2 different ways. There's the way that it costs us zero, not factual.
Right, this is from today.
The way that it's really $1.75 trillion, not factual. And then you've got, well, you know what? The Wharton Business School looked at it, and here's some facts.
Yeah, no, I'm thankful for the Wharton Business School giving us that number but frankly, the American people knew it didn't cost 1.7. They knew it didn't cost zero, as Joe Biden said. They knew it didn't cost 1.7 trillion. They knew it cost more. 4 trillion is the number. So look, it's ridiculous. Let's hope it doesn't pass. Here's what I know, Harris. 4 separate times now, the Speaker of the House has said that on this date we're going to pass this legislation, and 4 times it hasn't happened. She's 0 for 4. Twice she summoned the President of the United States to Capitol Hill to close the deal. He's 0 for 2. So they're 0 for 6. I hope this week makes it 0 for 7 because this legislation, as Leader McCarthy was pointing out, is not good for the country. It's only going to exacerbate all the other problems the Biden administration has created in just 10 months.
So the president a short time ago, knowing that Colin Powell's funeral was coming up on his schedule, we all have a schedule, said that he was going back to his office and was going to try to work on some of this. What is bigger than his legislative agenda to him right now?
Well, I mean, I don't know, but all I know is everything he involves himself in turns out to be bad. The border is chaos. Crime is up in every major urban area in our country. Prices are going through the roof. Inflation everywhere. Price of energy. We went from energy independence to the spectacle of the President of the United States begging OPEC to increase production. So, and of course, yesterday he couldn't remember. He didn't know that his Justice Department was giving people $450,000 who came into our country and broke the law and came into into America. So I guess maybe he didn't know where he was going today, whether he was going back to his office to make calls or going to General Powell's. General Powell.
Did you catch that? For families that were separated at the border, there's an allotment in this thing for $450,000 to go to each person.
Jeez. What in the fuck?
Yeah.
Less than what a military family gets when their service member dies in action.
Yeah.
Less than?
Oh
Yeah.
my god, that's really
The military
depressing.
families get less than, but they're
Oh,
going to
yeah.
give these illegals that were separated.
Yeah. They're sucking these potential future Republicans off for nothing. I'm just saying.
Right. People that come in to the country.
Well, it's like, you know,
Or already are.
well, right. And once you start paying taxes and you know, and you're Catholic and you realize that, you know, abortion and shit.
Pay tax.
Right?
Good quote.
They pay sales tax.
There's sales tax on
That puts a
abortion.
big dent in all the freebies that they fucking get from us.
No shit.
These people need to go fuck themselves.
How do you really feel about that? Come on.
Yeah, Becca, I'm like, tell us more.
It's a huge issue for me because
Yeah.
I'm in a border state and
Yeah.
holy hell, just I
Crazed.
don't know. Just taking my daughter to a doctor's appointment is hell because they take Medicaid and Medicare and they put us at the back of the fucking line for all these illegal kids coming in with all their fucking sicknesses and shit, and the waiting room is horrendous, and I just pet peeves.
All right, let's roll a bit. We're almost done here.
Ceremony.
Maybe he's picked up the extra added skill on a Friday of multitasking. We shall see. But the point that you just made is, I don't know how much more difference he can make on the phone. And there is nothing bigger than his agenda to him, apparently, because he's tried so many times and it has failed. I want to get to this. A big development in the special counsel John Durham's investigation now, and of course, still looking into the origins of the Trump-Russia probe. Federal agents have arrested a Russian national who was a key source for former British spy Christopher Steele's widely discredited dossier. Break it down for us, Congressman.
Well, I think it's important to understand this indictment and the one that happened a few weeks back with Mr. Zussman. Both of these are not about these individuals lying to John Durham and his investigative team. They're about the original lies they told back in 2016 and 2017 to the FBI that started this charade that was the Trump-Russia investigation. So Durham is going to the source when it all began. And both of these individuals, Zussman and Danchico, have ties to the Clinton campaign. So I think it's interesting. You know, it was President Trump who was working with Russia. That was baloney. But in fact, it was the Clinton campaign who was cozying up to Russia and people who had influence with Russia. That to me is the irony of all this. So I'm actually encouraged that we're actually going to hold people accountable who did wrong and put our country through this 3-year ordeal that was based on garbage dossier and the garbage information that Zussman took directly to the FBI.
Well, and further eroded the public trust in government overall.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to know
Sure
if people
did.
want to know the truth about what happened, people always want to know the truth about what happened when it doesn't jive with what they're being told.
Yeah. No, I mean, the idea that government gets weaponized to come after people with different political views, like when the IRS a few years back went after conservatives, like
mean
what the Justice
parents.
Department when they went after, and then of course what Merrick Garland did just a month ago, October 4th, with his memorandum to say we're going to set up an apparatus to spy on parents and go after parents at local school board meetings who are simply going there to say we don't want racist, hate America curricula taught to our kids. That's what concerns Americans, and again, that's why they spoke out so loudly on Tuesday evening in Virginia.
Well, Congressman Jim Jordan, always great to have you in focus. Thank you.
And we can talk over this. If someone needs to watch this drummer. It's a Japanese little kid party thing, and the drummer starts
He's tearing it up. Oh my god. I've never seen a Furby do that.
That's some damn talent there to do that in that costume. I mean, shit.
Yeah, right, definitely.
He's chopping into that tongue like a motherfucker, man. I'm down with that shit. That's awesome.
This is fucking metal.
Exactly. You know he's a metal drummer.
Metal for 2 years.
Aspirations.
Okay, like, true story. You know, like the Wiggles, like the kids, like the Wiggles. Okay, well, they announced a 18 and over arena tour with like the original Wiggles lineup, where they're doing, I guess, adult versions of the Wiggles songs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 18 and over. Yeah.
That's impressive because I didn't think that they were going to be able to tour again because of the health issues that they had.
That just came out like maybe a week. Like maybe a week or two ago.
Wow.
Oh, what? ICP did a bunch of cover songs a couple of years back, and one of the cover songs that they did was a kids show, and I can't remember the name of the kids show. It was like Gullah Gullah Island or some shit.
Oh my gosh, I remember that.
I love that show.
Binya Binya.
I'd have to look at my CD and see.
Gullah Gullah Island.
See, I like that show because it was the only show out there.
Now it is election night, so we
could watch that had that kind of that Gullah vernacular to it, that Gullah dialect.
Yeah, that dialect, yeah. It was pretty cool, actually. But the pollywog, like, the big pollywog guy was freaky. It was like, I mean, it was like a gigantic dude in a suit.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't know. It was just normal, you know, pollywog coming in and out of your house. Like that, weird.
All right, so the title of today's show is Yes, Virginia, There Is a Santa Claus, and it's all about the Virginia governor's race. This is the first time they've elected a Republican governor since 2009. Terry McAuliffe was the Democrat running. He had been governor before. He's besties with Billy Jeff and Hillrod. So, you know, I mean, he is like an anointed person, and he got his ass beat. And this is, we just watched MSNBC's hot takes on this shit. It's funny as hell.
Now it is election night, so we begin where else but exactly where we want to go and we think America wants to go. To the big board with NBC Steve Kornacki. Steve, take it away. All right, Ari, well, as you say, inside of an hour, we're waiting for real votes. Between now and then, we've got the exit poll. We've got our first look at the electorate, folks who went out and voted today. Also included in this exit poll, folks who voted early, folks who voted by mail as well. Different ways of voting these days. Let's take you through some of what we're seeing here. First of all, one of the central questions for the backdrop of this governor's race, President Biden. We've talked so much about how the party that controls the White House has struggled in Virginia governor's elections. What is Joe Biden's job approval rating with Virginia voters today? Right now, this is what we're seeing, a 43% approval rating for the president. Upside down, 56% disapprove. That actually tracks pretty closely to what we saw nationally in our NBC poll that came out on the eve of the election. Nationally, we had Biden at 42. Today, the exit poll right now is putting him at 43% in Virginia. How about this one, though? Terry McAuliffe and the Democrats, they've been trying to make Donald Trump a front and center issue in this campaign, trying to attach Trump in voters' minds to Glenn Youngkin, the Republican. This is why they've been doing that. Here's voters' view of Donald Trump in Virginia. That is also extremely upside down. 41% favorable, 54% unfavorable. So is Trump going to be more of a weight on Youngkin, or is Biden going to be more of a weight on McAuliffe? One of the questions we're going to get answered with the actual votes coming in. Also, opinion of the candidates themselves. Glenn Youngkin, the Republican, actually in our exit poll, clocking in over 50% in the favorable rating for him. That is better than Terry McAuliffe in this exit poll. He's clocking in at 44% favorable. I will note the one time that Terry McAuliffe got elected governor before, back in 2013, he did struggle with that favorable rating back then as well. He was able to overcome that in 13. We will see if he's able to overcome that in 21. And again, Ari, the countdown you can see right there inside of 57 minutes. I expect shortly after 7 o'clock, county officials have been telling us they've changed the process a little bit this year for reporting out votes. This thing should really start to come to life and light up right when 7 o'clock rolls around.
And your bottom line there, Steve, on the exit, it's very interesting to get the favorables. They tell you something, but not everything.
Yeah, that's right. And the other thing I caution on the exit poll is 5 o'clock, we get our first look at it. There's going to be more data that's added to the exit poll. There are more interviews that are taking place as we speak that have been taking place. So more data is going to be added to that exit poll, I think about 45 minutes from now. So the numbers I showed you could shift a little bit. That's one thing we're going to look at. But these exit polls, they kind of take shape in waves. So we'll get another look at about 6:45, and then 15 minutes after that, maybe we can toss the exit polls aside because we'll have real votes.
Get to the real thing. Well, a lot of insight and context, so we thank you for that, Steve. The only thing I ask is that you promise us, Steve, don't go anywhere.
Yeah, I'm here. You don't worry about that.
Okay. Steve Kornacki at and near the big board at all times.
David, I have this is some stats that Sahil Kapoor, the great Sahil Kapoor, our colleague, just tweeted out. McAuliffe, he's slightly ahead with non-white voters, so that was not his issue. He's slightly behind with white male voters. That seems fairly typical for a Democrat. He's getting clobbered among white women voters. In 2020, white women voters went 50% for Biden, 49% for Trump. In this election, per the exit polls, they're going 57-43 for McAuliffe. That is not macro. That's issues. With education being the number one thing on the minds of these voters, that means that Terry McAuliffe lost a very specific messaging war on race. And so I wonder what would be your advice to Democrats about how they should answer that. Is it a candidate that's different, that is somebody maybe newer, maybe a candidate of color, it's just somebody who really knows how to message that? What could they have done differently? Because that is not a good number for them going into next year.
No, it's a
massive shift. I will say, Joy, some of it I think is, first of all, Youngkin portrayed himself as not a Trump Republican. Okay, he ran as kind of almost like a Romney Republican for most of the race. There's no doubt that critical race theory is a weapon that he utilized to great effect. But I think a lot of those white women, they're now gone negative on Joe Biden's job performance. They're worried about the economy. They're worried about the pandemic. We've been, dealing with school issues for a year and a half in terms of kids in school. So I think it's a blend. I think the mistake Democrats would make is to say we just lost 16 points with white women, which is a massive shift in 12 months, and it's only because of the race Glenn Youngkin ran. I think it's a blend, and I think you have to understand these are big, big warning signs that are blinking as bright as they can.
One more thing on this on Youngkin and Trump, which I think is an interesting takeaway tonight, David. I'd be curious to hear what you think. One is, Youngkin, Donald Trump blew up so much about our politics that reclaiming the most conventional wisdom pre-Trump feels like some innovation. This is the way Republicans always used to run. They would say it was about education, it was about welfare, it was about a handout. It was, there were these sort of coded appeals that were able to weave together different coalitions. The guy at the back of the rally with the Confederate flag was there for you, but so was the, relatively affluent suburban mom who doesn't like Donald Trump saying send them back and we're going to ban all the Muslims, right? Like this is not rocket science. This is how Republicans used to run. I actually wonder the extent to which in Republican political circles there's an understanding that like Donald Trump, you don't maybe need him in the way that you think you do, given how much the transformation of your base into this kind of very backlashy base right now is going to be there, whether you court him or you don't.
Well, Chris, I think that's true in the general election. I agree with you. It's a very low bar to kind of portray yourself as not Donald Trump.
Yes.
But, right now, I think in most of the United States Senate races that will determine control, I think you'd say maybe with the exception of New Hampshire, the lead candidates right now are Trump-like figures. Right. So in Republican primaries, that gate, I think, still slants in that direction. And that's another reason I think to be more optimistic about the Democrats is they may nominate a bunch of people who aren't Glenn Youngkin. I can't believe I'm saying like Glenn Youngkin's some like ideal candidate. He's not. But I think they are going to come out of those Senate primaries owning everything. All the Trump, not apologizing for anything. And by the way, someone who came across as less of a moderate voice might not have been able to pull off the critical race theory thing, because they might just come across like a flat-out racist. Okay, I think Youngkin came across as somebody, wrongly in my view, but was able to convince voters, including a lot of those white women voters, that he's not a racist and he thinks race should be taught, but it just shouldn't be this critical race theory, which of course doesn't exist. So I think we have to look very carefully about the type of Republican candidate that comes out of House Republican and Senate primaries next year.
Well, Trump approved Republican candidate Youngkin's closing message to Virginia voters.
You say singularly?
Yeah, they make up a lot of words.
Singular.
All right, so what they were doing was blaming it on white
suburban women.
White suburban women.
You're welcome.
It's all the white suburban women's fault because they changed their mind. How dare you change your mind? You're not allowed to change your mind. You're not allowed to think for yourself. You're not allowed to look at both candidates and say, yeah, this Terry McAuliffe guy is kind of an idiot when it comes to education. We can't afford to have him as governor. No, you're not allowed to do that.
White ladies are so
my mother would be one of those white suburban women in Virginia. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Thank you to your mom.
They won't have control over their kids' education, and this is what happens. And they're trying to say, oh, it's racist because of critical race theory. Meanwhile, saying that critical race theory within itself doesn't teach race.
I
So
can't tell
what
if
is
these
it?
people are are actually this dense.
They are.
All right, so here's the deal. All right, so no, man, this is fucking Marxism. They've got to guys, the reality of it. They're not teaching critical race theory in school. No, they're teaching shit that is permeated with CRT thought. Right? It's technically, they're not teaching anything called critical race theory. There's no book or anything, right? It's just the fact that the United States is fundamentally flawed because of white oppression from the get-go, right? And the country didn't begin until the first slave came here.
Right.
That's well, I mean that's basically what it says.
Yeah, I know.
So whatever. Well, yeah, no, but the deal is they said they're not. See, watch this shit.
Well, Trump approved Republican candidate
I can't stand this cunt.
Youngkin's closing message to Virginia voters has almost singularly focused on weaponizing race, stoking hysteria over the coded boogeyman of critical race theory, which is not currently taught in any Virginia public school. From banning Toni Morrison's Beloved, this epic novel, a Pulitzer Prize-winning seminal work of American fiction that recounts the horrors of slavery, to casting himself as the candidate of so-called parents' rights, vowing to ban critical race theory, which again is not taught if elected. Again, it's not taught in any Virginia public schools. With us now is Cornell Belcher, Democratic pollster and MSNBC political analyst, who's also a Virginia native. And Cornell, I asked this question of Julian Castro earlier, and I'll ask it of you now. What lessons, if in fact the results that we see right now prevail and Glenn Youngkin becomes the next governor of Virginia, what lessons should Democrats take from it, and what lessons do you think Republicans will take from it?
Well, a couple things, Joy, and there's one, and I said this earlier, even more so than Youngkin versus Terry McAuliffe, I think Trumpism and critical race theory is on the ballot. And what you're saying, whether Terry, and still a lot of votes out, but whether or not Terry makes this up or not, I think tonight is a victory for critical race theory. Because if you look at McAuliffe, and again, it's still early, it's not a lot of votes out, but if you look at McAuliffe's margins, they're way off of what Biden's margins are. And in a place like Loudon, Biden won that by close to 20 points.
Yeah, Trumpism. That's what they're chiming, but it's bullshit. Right, because this thing was a further. He didn't ask Trump to. As a matter of fact, he resisted Trump coming over there to stump for him. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the marketing ploy for MSNBC is to mention Trump in every. If they do a human interest piece on the 7-year-old kid that is fundraising so that they can send. Packages of food over to the Belgian Congo or whatever. Somehow Trump is going to be the horrible bad guy who's causing all the people to starve in the Belgian Congo, which I don't even think that that's a real country anymore. But yeah, somehow Trump is the source of all these problems, and this 7-year-old is fighting Trump. Because, again, that's their marketing ploy. That's how they sell ad space is, I hate Trump.
Gotcha.
He's only winning it by 10. Virginia Beach, a really sort of critical swing area that swung for Biden, that is now too close to call. Wherever you look, it looks like these college-educated suburban white voters who Democrats thought were breaking their way, they rallied back around critical race theory. And again, for me, critical race theory, Joy, is just the most recent, more eloquent iteration of the Southern strategy, right? Whether it be crosstown busing, whether it be the welfare queen, whether it be defund the police. This original sin of America keeps evolving, and critical race theory is the most latest and most eloquent, quite frankly, iteration of the Southern strategy in a way, quite frankly, to tribalize an election, in a way to drive up the white vote. And whether Terry comes back or not, I think that critical race theory was central to Youngkin's sort of close here, and that he's made it so close. And a lot of these suburban areas where Democrats thought they were making ground in, I think we're going to see this again in the midterm, and it's going to be problematic.
Yeah, let me bring in Jason Johnson. I think we have his camera on. Jason Johnson, to that very point, Christopher Rufo did a speech at the Claremont Institute, and he's one of the people who's been the most eager and active in pushing Republicans to use this as a strategy to turn out their vote and to pull in suburban voters. And he admitted at the Claremont Institute that he had no idea what critical race theory is and doesn't care what it is. But that whenever what he wants is that when white voters see any story that makes them uncomfortable, anything that's about wokeism or multiculturalism that makes them mad, he wants them to think critical race theory and then vote Republican. It's a strategy that they were not hiding. It's been very open, and the Claremont Institute has been very open about it. What does it say to you that Glenn Youngkin was able to, if we don't know how it's going to turn out, we should go say again with these too close to call, but if Youngkin wins based on using that strategy, is Cornell right? This is the new Lee Atwater strategy, and it's going to be used over and over and over again.
I rarely disagree with Cornell on air. I got to disagree with him on this. Look, the only reason that we're talking about critical race theory is because Glenn Youngkin had 18 months to convince people that he was not a fire-breathing, horns out of the skull racist. You can only talk about critical race theory if you present yourself as the kind of neutral white guy who's like, I don't dislike brown people. I just think this is going a little too far. So it only works if you've been able to present yourself as neutral or non-hostile on race issues. That's not something that a lot of Republicans are very good at. And I saw somebody put this very eloquently online. They said, look, Glenn Youngkin ran pretending to be Larry Hogan. He's going to govern like Mike DeWine, but to his base, they think he's Ron DeSantis. And that's what this is. It was a very sneaky triangulation. Because if you run on critical race theory and you're a screaming MAGA hat wearing maniac, then you're going to lose those suburban people because they don't want to be associated with that. So I think it's only an effective strategy if you've been able to put 4, 5, 6 other things in line. Anybody else who runs on critical race theory, if you don't have the proper candidate to promote the message, it's not going to get you anywhere.
There's so many different elements to this. Everyone says, well, a state vote is a state vote, and that's it. I think very few people who look at this think this was just about Virginia and New Jersey. Yeah. Right. The one thing I would bring out too is it was a huge risk and a bad, obviously, tactic for McAuliffe to bring out the former President Barack Obama, his Stacey Abrams, who was the rock star of Georgia, to bring out Jill Biden, to ask Kamala Harris to cut a tape and go to 300 churches. I think there's no doubt about it because the people of Virginia wanted to be about Virginia, and he's saying, well, you might not like me, but look at how popular my friends are. And in the end, now they all lose. They go down with McAuliffe, and actually President Obama worked in New Jersey, and man, that didn't help.
I think it's also about the issues. I mean, when you're down in Virginia, they are so worried about what's happening in their schools. I think this was a referendum on Biden and on the progressive movement and on CRT. I think that all these suburban parents are speaking out. They're getting involved for the first time. These are parents that never really were involved in school board issues, not involved in politics at all, and they might have voted one party or the other based on their families. But this was about the issues.
Right, and for the parents who lived through the pandemic where the kids were at home, they looked over their shoulders for a year and they said, okay, wait a minute, what are you learning? And then they say, hey, what are you teaching them? And it's like, we're not teaching them that. It's like, I saw it with my own 2 eyes. According to the exit polling in Virginia, the number 1 issue by a long ways was the economy, followed by coronavirus, and then, of course, education. When you look at...
If you got nothing to hide about what you're teaching the children, then why would you fucking lie about it?
Right.
I know. Because they have something to hide?
Tell the kids not to talk about their schoolwork with their parents and shit like that.
It's all like, oh, it's not important. I'm not going to talk about it.
Right.
It's not a thing. Whatever.
Teachers constantly tell my kids that their parents are stupid and that they're not worth speaking to because we will never understand our own kids, and that the people to go to are like the school counselors or their teachers.
It sounds like a
My
fucking
kid
molester.
was telling me this.
This sounds like a child
Terrifying.
molester. Holy shit.
It sounds like a grooming, yeah.
Take your kids out
Oh,
of
they're
school.
definitely grooming. That's the whole point of the schools now. But my youngest told me this, and so I went to the school next day, hung
I
out
bet
in all
you
the
did.
classes. I went to every class. I was like, "Oh, I'm here." And the teacher was flipping out. It was like, "It's my right to be here." I'll try to tell my kid that I'm untrustworthy. I'm not here to support her. Keep talking shit.
I love your stories, Becca. You're like my hero.
Yeah, I love her. I love Becca's stories
Keep
too.
doing it.
The
She, like,
world
don't
needs a
give a
bond like
fuck.
Becca.
I mean,
If you're
I have a
trying-
lot to do. I get bored easily, but as soon as there's a chance for conflict, it seems like I gravitate towards stuff like that, especially with schools.
Snap.
If you're trying to take care of the kids, if you're trying to help my kids, you're not going to find a bigger ally in me.
Exactly.
Right.
You're really not. But if you are trying to spoon feed my kids, or worse yet, force feed my kids a whole bunch of empty-headed theory, and you are not taking care of business, and you are telling them that you know better than their own parents, you are going to have the worst enemy in your lifetime
Like,
to deal with.
Dave, you're modded.
Man, understandable.
These are our kids, and nobody cares about these kids as much as their parents do. I don't care what the National Education Association believes. Nobody cares about these kids as much as their parents do.
Right.
Well,
It's our job to brainwash our children. How dare you? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, right?
No, it's our job to raise them into hopefully very well adjusting adults out in our society. And
We'll
they
have
can do
unrealistic
better
expectations
than us.
on what a beginning job, when they get out of whatever higher learning or not higher learning they take. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they all want
That's
that
why,
$110,000 job, a year job, and it's like, fuck, are you stupid?
No, you're gonna be working. If you're lucky, you're going to be working for $40,000 a year, 9 months out of the year. You're going to have your summers off, and it's going to be a perfect job for somebody who is, strangely enough, raising their own kids.
Not married.
Because when their kids are off of school, they're off work.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, I made
you're not going to
my-
get rich as a teacher.
Yeah, and
You're just not.
like my son had these high expectations of making great money as soon as he graduated, but as soon as he turned 17, we forced him into like fast food to give him a reality check. And then right before graduation, he did land a badass job that paid really well. And he's like, "See, Mom," I was like, "Well, you didn't get that job without the awesome mother that you have." Because I shaped your personality, and you got that job based off personality. Not really. It was my uncle's company. But anyway, the daughter, she's 18, almost 19, and she's learning what true hard work is, and all the shit that the teachers try to tell them about going straight into college and making all these badass jobs and badass money and all these benefits. She was like, "Yeah, they were full of shit, Mom."
Here,
yeah.
like, the thing is like the job that I have right now, it has nothing to do with my education whatsoever. Like, it has nothing to do with my degree or anything. And I could have absolutely done the job that I have right now without going to college, but I wouldn't have the job that I have right now had I not went to college. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that just seems like, I don't know. It's stupid.
Well, our household believes in trade schools. We don't really push the university education on them. Like the daughter took vocational classes and got a vet tech certification. So she went from high school straight into working.
Yeah.
And then she'll go to community college, get her basics and all that stuff and further that education. But yeah, it's the parents' job, damn it. Not these stupid fucking woke teachers that are like coming out to their third graders. Fuck you.
Yeah, no shit. All right, let's keep rolling.
How Chairman McAuliffe nationalized it by bringing in all those Democratic all-stars, which clearly backfired. People wanted to talk about just the very local issues. For the most part, Glenn Youngkin kept Donald Trump at arm's length through the entire campaign. And what's interesting, when you look at, according to the Washington Post this morning, in the reddest part of Virginia, way out in southwest Virginia, about where Lawrence was yesterday, out in Roanoke, coal country, Glenn Youngkin actually got a higher percentage of the vote than Donald Trump did in 2020 because he made it about the issues of interest to people in the Commonwealth of Virginia.
And you know, a lot of the folks that we interviewed yesterday.
Look at the map right there. The blue are the Terry McAuliffe counties, and up in the extreme northeast, that is Northern Virginia. Those are the suburbs just outside of Washington, D.C., Fairfax and Loudoun County.
Well, you know, we also interviewed a lot of people that had migrated into our country, and they're citizens, they're able to vote here, but they said they are so fearful that for the direction of our country, they don't want our country to end up like theirs, the countries that they were fleeing from. And earlier on the show this morning, we interviewed two of those individuals, two parents in Loudoun County or in Fairfax, Virginia. One is She Van Fleet, the other is Osra Nomani. Listen to their stories.
As a person who never involved in political campaign, I worked so hard for Youngkin's campaign. Yesterday, I stood in cold rain for 9 hours handing out ballot. I did it because I believe in Youngkin. I'm sorry. To me, this race between Youngkin and McAuliffe is a race between American ideal and Marxist ideology.
This was a referendum on parents and this entire ridiculous woke ideology that has swept into our school systems. I am a immigrant, Muslim, liberal Democrat, and I voted for Glenn Youngkin because Glenn Youngkin actually did something that so many politicians and policymakers have done, and that is honored parents.
Those are some of Ainsley's interview from earlier that talked about some of the impact. I think it's pretty cool, too. On Sunday, NBC had a poll, and they were probably outraged by the results, but they didn't run for them. It turns out the Republicans have a double-digit lead when it comes to who do you favor in terms of border security, no kidding, inflation to handle that, the economy, national security, and getting things done. Overwhelmingly double-digit advantage for Republicans, the party that just barely lost the Senate, closed the gap in the House, but lost the White House 1 year ago. So it's a pretty remarkable transformation. But I also think to drill down on what Barack Obama said when he came. Instead of acknowledging that there were issues with schools and we should look at them, he called it a trumped-up culture war. When President Biden came out a 16-minute speech, he mentioned Trump dozens of times. Nobody really thinks Donald Trump had anything to do with it. And when McAuliffe said, instead of CRT, here's how I would change it, he said it didn't exist. He also said parents have no role in education. The teacher spaces are too white. And then, of course, linking Trump and Charlottesville together fell flat. He never adjusted, which is astounding because this guy was a strategist getting other people elected. He couldn't handle a re-election for the most part because he won the first time. State that he was supposed to have known so well. Yes.
Comments?
I'm reminded a lot how the news is, how they've been analyzing the election, and it just reminds me so much of when Hillary didn't win and how fucking dense they were about the reasons. And
yeah,
I don't know, it just seems like they're just incredibly out of touch with the voters.
I think it really fucked them up when the grab them by the pussy thing didn't end Trump's race right there. I really do.
Yeah, and then they insult the voters.
And they played that card way too soon. They played that card in August when they should have done it, 2 or 3 weeks before the election. I mean, that's an October surprise special right there, man. So, they were just a whiny bunch of salty ass motherfuckers, man. Double standards, etc. We know what's up here.
It's like, sounds good when it's working for you, and then it's when it serves your best interest, I don't know. Anyway, go ahead.
No, that's cool. I won't go by this DeSantis thing. I mean, he just makes all right. So here, let's watch the libs. This is Kirsten Powers, man. She's looking rough. She used to be a hot blonde, man. What happened to her? What happened to Kirsten Powers?
All of this, talking about critical race theory and representing it as if it was happening in elementary school, which of course is not even being taught there. But there were a lot of these hot button cultural.
I say A, bulimia, and B, leftism.
Issues. I think that Youngkin was really able to use to his advantage. I don't think that that's right because I think it was misrepresented. But this is now, I think, also the Republican playbook is to use these issues to scare people, basically, a feeling out of control. That everything's out of control with their children and they need to be protected from these people.
To scare people, like 24/7 about a disease that, the chances are, it's not, you're not going to die from it, but it's 24/7 everywhere. It's interesting.
Dogs in this agenda, right? Yeah, let's be clear. Some of it was dog whistle. Yeah, right. Some of it was
dog whistle. Oh, now what's going to come after this? Come on, Becca.
What'd you say? I didn't hear what you said.
She said the word dog whistle.
Ow.
So white supremacy will come next.
Yeah, exactly. Here's what I'll do. All right, I want to do this real quick. All right.
dog whistle racism.
1000%.
But for a lot of voters, that's not what it was. It was more this anxiety when it comes to schooling, having had their children out of school for so long, and obviously those not being choices that they made, but that were dictated for them. They may have agreed with them, but many clearly disagree.
Yeah, I do think, and I've been saying this for a long time, I do think that a lot of times we look at these things and we read a lot into them. When my ultimate takeaway is that whether it's Democrats or Republicans, everybody's pretty unhappy. And we tend to go back and forth between. And so yes, Joe Biden won, and so what happens, Republicans win. And then Republicans go, see, we have a mandate, everybody likes us. And it's like, I really don't think that's the takeaway here, because what it is people just keep saying, like, this isn't it, we're going to go and try and do this, and then no, this isn't it, we're going to go and try and do that.
Yeah, it's just like who's in charge of the hellscape now.
Yeah.
Joe Biden's in charge of the hellscape now. Yes,
Yeah.
Joe Biden will be in charge of the hellscape, and I'm using your language, not mine. He'll be in charge of the hellscape in 1 year. And the fact of the matter is that Joe Biden is not a popular president, as we sit here this morning in Virginia.
Yeah.
What?
He's the president of the hellscape.
He's not a popular president, but
All right, so
he got the most votes ever.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? We
Yeah.
cheer for him all the time. Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon.
Joe Brandon. That's right.
All right, so
I was
the
a
guy in the
cheerleader. I can't
hat,
help but clap afterwards.
he's a Republican strategist that I can't remember the name of the show. Is The Circus or something like that, where he and this Democrat strategist guy, like they'll do these documentary series for during every election for Showtime, right? And this guy claims to be a Republican, but everything that's ever come out of his mouth sounds like a Democrat to me, you know?
He's a Lincoln Project Republican.
A lot of juice. You know what I'm saying?
Lincoln Project. Oh boy. Okay.
He won by 10 points. He's at 45% approval rating right now. Yeah, way underwater, and that obviously didn't help. And the midterms were already at a disadvantage just for historical purposes. And so now with the Youngkin victory and sort of a win at their back, I think Republicans are looking in really good shape for next year.
And a reminder, the last time Republicans won in Virginia, what happened in Congress in the next midterm election? I mean, now what does this spell for that?
Yeah, well, again, I think it just says it's probably going to be double-digit Republican wins. And John, you did a great job at the board. They're particularly pointing out that, I think there's a lot of narrative about how well Youngkin did in suburban areas, but the real story is just how Democrats have abandoned the rural areas. And Democrats better get a clue about that. I mean, if you're going to lose the rural areas by as much, you have to just so hugely overperform in the suburbs. McAuliffe held his own there, but he didn't overperform, to be sure.
Right. So I think just a little perspective. I mean, both New Jersey and Virginia are states who typically will vote for sort of the out of party. If there's a Democrat in the White House, they're going to tend to vote for Republicans. So that actually is a trend. That said, I think the lesson here it really is for Republicans is you have two candidates who kind of did the same thing, which is they were able to use Donald Trump where they needed to use Donald Trump, but keep him at arm's length, and still be able to appeal to voters who necessarily wouldn't love Donald Trump. And so it's kind of a model, I think, for Republicans moving forward. And in Virginia, look, I think that.
They get a shot every time she says Donald Trump.
Terry McAuliffe, what he said about parents not having a say
of alcohol poisoning.
About what happens in schools was definitely something that I think really hits parents right in the heart, right? Because most parents feel very stressed out, very concerned, like things are very out of control, and that they don't have control over their children's lives, whether it's what they're seeing on social media or what is happening in schools or what's happening with COVID or all these other things. And so I do think that probably did play into it. It doesn't mean that he necessarily would have won if he didn't do it, but I definitely think it hurt him.
What's America telling us? This is a brand new playbook for Republicans. That's the main takeaway. Youngkin was a very good candidate. He had the message, he had momentum. McAuliffe had the math, but the momentum overwhelmed the math. And so the big winner, of course, was Glenn.
Yeah, this is a new playbook for the Republicans. Communism's bad.
That's a new playbook. I've never heard a Republican say communism is bad before.
I mean, really, man. I don't know what is going on anymore. Shit. Nobody will tell me nothing.
Youngkin, but the big loser is Terry McAuliffe, obviously, Joe Biden, the Democrats, but also Donald Trump. Glenn Youngkin held him at arm's distance very artfully, and he was not invited to.
They sit on Donald Trump one more time. He was defeated because the guy held him at arm's length. Okay.
Yeah, if you
It's
took
like
a
they're
shot
scared
every
of
time
him.
they said Donald Trump, your liver would literally like pack up and move out of your body like, I'm out of here, prick.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Trust me. I got one that's pretty irate. So
for the party.
Let me change my name to Irate Liver.
So it's pretty clear what can happen for Republican candidates if they put Trump in the rearview mirror rather than on the windshield. Glenn Youngkin will join us in just a moment here on the show. But first, we want to, as we always do, and for good reason, to Britt Hume. He is Fox News' senior political analyst who joins us. Now, Britt, thanks so much for coming on. Last night, as you were assessing what might happen in this race, you said, if McAuliffe loses, this is a massive story. Do you still feel that way? And if so, how big?
Oh, yeah, I do, Tucker. It was obviously a broadly based protest vote against what Democrats see going on in Washington. And it was also a very well-engineered campaign by candidate Youngkin himself, who positioned himself as an obvious alternative, as a completely acceptable alternative to the Democrat McAuliffe, one who did not seem an extremist. He didn't seem a Trumpist. He didn't carry any of the baggage that can hold Republicans back. And the voters said, okay, and accepted him. And huge upset, one that was not forecast until only recent days. Very skillful campaign by a novice candidate. A big hill to climb, he climbed it.
What's interesting, though, is that he didn't run on tax cuts. I think that was a feature of his platform. But he ran on what we are told are the divisive social issues
critical race theory, what our kids are taught. I mean, he went right to the things that people talk about on social media, and he won on that. What does that tell you?
Well, it tells you one thing, and that is that there's an argument about this whole.
What Obama called a phony culture wars last week.
Question of critical race theory in this particular political race. And on one side, and you're hearing it, I heard it all day today, I saw it everywhere. The critical race is not taught in Virginia schools. Critical race theory is not taught in Virginia schools. The AP and the NBC are saying it. It's being said everywhere on the left. In fact, however, there's ample evidence that critical race theory very much influences and is injected into what is being taught in those schools. And these parents knew that. They came to know it. It may have had something to do with the kids being at home during the pandemic and the kids getting the parents getting a closer look at what their kids were learning. But that was out there, and the parents were right, and Youngkin was right, and the left and Terry McAuliffe and the rest of them were wrong on the facts. And as a result, people weren't going to vote for somebody who didn't think there was a problem. Youngkin did, so that's where that comes out. And of course, you have people on the left and some shin pullers saying, well, it was the Republicans who injected race into this election. Baloney. The critical race theory itself injects race into the lives of our school children. It should never have any influence, let alone being taught. Now people say, you could say technically, Tucker, it's not being taught in the sense that volumes have been written on critical race theory and it's not been handed out as a textbook, but its influence and its tenets are in those schools.
I never figured out what critical race theory is, to be totally honest, after a year of talking about it. They're teaching that some races are morally superior to others, that some are inherently sinful and some are inherently saintly, and that's immoral to teach that because it's wrong. That would be my point.
Well, what's also wrong about it, Tucker, is that it rests on this idea that racism and racial discrimination permeates the experience of citizens in America, that we are inherently and almost incurably racist, and that it influences everything, and that it sees the world through that prism. It's misguided, to say the very least, and people have had enough of it. No doubt about it in my mind.
That's for sure, finally. Great to see you tonight. Thank you.
And that's what they're calling critical race theory. That very mindset. Mm-hmm. Hume is great, man. I really kind of wish he was still doing his thing because he was one of those people that, you knew he would shoot straight, even if it was, a hurtful thing. All right. So, all right, this next thing, all right, so there was an announcement today. I'll just play this. I'm just going to play these one at a time. All right. Tell me if y'all can't see it. Y'all see this?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's true.
So fucking awesome.
The audio keeps going on. Fuck it. We'll just jam a little King Weed.
Except that it doesn't curb anything.
All right, it's stuck at the end there. Turn the audio back up. All right, and here's another. Here's this is DeSantis. All right.
Well, good afternoon. A year and a half ago, we started with 15 days to slow the spread, and now it's gone to get jabbed or lose your job. And today's OSHA rule, very long time coming. We were waiting for it. That was issued. If you look at it, here it is. It's almost 500 pages. And so we're supposed to be a government of laws, not a government of men. This is 500 pages of a government of a bureaucracy, a government that is being run by executive edict, not in accordance with the typical constitutional processes. And the state of Florida is going to respond, and we will combat the OSHA rule. As soon as it's published, the state of Florida will be joining with Georgia and Alabama, as well as private plaintiffs, to file suit. This is a rule that is not consistent with the Constitution and is not legally authorized through congressional statutes. There is no federal police power. The federal government can't just unilaterally impose medical policy under the guise of workplace regulation. And that is exactly what they're trying to do here. They don't provide any instances why the workplace is somehow different than anything else that's been done with any of this. This is an attempt to shoehorn policy through the bureaucracy in a way that will be difficult for some of these individuals and private parties to resist. I think it's interesting that this is being done under the guise of emergency power. This was announced 2 months ago, and it said this is an emergency and that this is grave danger is facing. Then why did it take you 2 months to issue the rule? And then, of course, the rule doesn't take effect until January, which is convenient because it's not going to, it'll minimize workforce disruptions over the holiday season, which we know we're likely to see anyways, and then this would only exacerbate that. So this is not consistent with a government of limited and enumerated powers. There is no general police power. There's no power to mandate on the American people from the federal government. People will sometimes point out about state mandates and how those have been imposed through the years and have the constitutionality has been upheld. States clearly have a general police power, whatever the wisdom of a particular mandate is. It's much different when the federal government is imposing that on tens of millions of Americans, particularly without any legislative sanction. At the end of the day, individuals should make informed choices about their own health care. They shouldn't be coerced into getting a jab. In this situation, you're going to have people that are going to have to make that decision. Do you get fired from your job, or do you do this if this may be something that you don't think is something that you want to do? And just be clear with what OSHA is doing. They're clearly not doing science because they reject immunity through prior infection. They reject the Israel study and all the very strong studies that have come out that show people that have recovered from COVID have strong protection. They totally cast that aside, and they make no accommodation or acknowledgement of that in any way, shape, or form. But ultimately, people should be able to make these decisions. I don't think people want this decision yanked away from them. I don't think they want to allow a precedent where the federal government could come in and just force you to do what it wants you to do. And make no mistake about it, those individuals who have gone through a normal vaccination series for COVID, you will be determined to be unvaccinated very soon. They will do that. They are going to tell you you're unvaccinated and you have to get a booster. Otherwise, you could potentially face loss of employment or other types of penalties. So that is going to happen. They're not putting that in the rule, but they're already asking for feedback on how to do this going forward. So this is just the tip of the iceberg. It's going to get more restrictive. There's going to be more power brought to bear going forward if we don't stand up now and fight back. I just think
we have been stunned at the overreach of the Biden administration. What will we do? I will issue an executive order barring any South Carolina cabinet agency from issuing or enforcing any vaccine mandate. Number two, I will require all state agencies, including the 19 cabinet agencies, to report to me any inquiry or request for vaccination from the federal government. That is allowed by law. Both of those things are allowed by law. Now, we are one of 8 executive order who are in a lawsuit already
Kohl's Black Friday deals are
against
here.
the federal government for its unlawful orders
And get
against
50%
federal
pajamas.
contractors, and it extends beyond them to subcontractors and others in contact with subcontractors. We have filed a lawsuit led by the state of Georgia, joined by 6 other states. There may be others joining later. That's what we're doing with the federal mandate on the federal agencies and the federal employees. But there's another arena, and that is the one involving the Occupational Safety and Health Act. Today, the Biden administration, through the ASHA administration, published regulations requiring most businesses in the country, except the smaller ones, to vaccinate their employees or seek financial punishment. It is unbelievable that the federal government.
All right, everyone, an extra
would
video.
issue such an unlawful order. It is questionable whether the Congress could even do that, but certainly it cannot be done by executive order or through a federal agency, least of all the Occupational Safety and Health Act. It is difficult to believe that we are seeing what we are seeing. The business judgment is being overwhelmed and ignored. The rights of the people, perhaps civil rights, are being ignored. And the parents' interest in their own children in schools that they pay for with tax money are being trampled, subjected to criminal investigation. It is hard to believe that this is what is happening in our country. So, on the federal employee, the federal agency regulation, we are in a lawsuit and we are fighting that. I'm confident that other states will join in different ways. On the new OSHA regulation that has been published today, we will fight that aggressively. We have been and will continue to fight these unlawful regulations and acts and intrusions on the rights of our people with all the strength that we have. Any lawful objection, any lawful act that we can take to protect our people, we will do.
You back? All right. Because you're on mute.
I'm muted everywhere, as a matter of fact. So yeah, we're back in the we're back into the green room, what I call the green room, with the slides and shit. And yeah, roasted. All right, Dave, I downloaded that video, but it's somebody else's content, so right. I might think about playing it on in the next hour on ODYSEE and Twitch. I think I'll be able to get away with that there. Yeah, so the whole work thing, man, mandate, I still think it's a paper tiger. I really do. I think that there's OSHA can get the shit suit out of them.
The constitutional precedent that involves vaccine mandates is that the Supreme Court ruled that states can make those decisions because it's properly their decision, and they can't enforce a mandate. That decision was made back in the days when smallpox vaccines were still being distributed, back in like the 20s and 30s.
Mm.
So, yeah, it's possible that the mandates could be perfectly legal, but only if they're coming from the states. The federal government doesn't have that authority. It is one of those powers that is reserved to the states under the 10th Amendment.
Hmm.
Sorry, fact check coming in.
That's right. Yeah. Anybody else got any comments? Becca.
No.
Becca?
I have no comments. It's all ridiculous, and it's certainly an overreach. I'm just waiting for it all to play out.
Yeah. It is all overreach, isn't it? And
I certainly believe so.
Well, it's like trust your gut, fam. That's all I got to say.
Yep.
All right, so what we're doing here is go ahead and shill for the YouTubers.
Already did.
Thank you.
Yay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think I got that thing still. God, no, damn it. I can't copy paste what anyway.
And on Sunday, all right, so I'm doing the ice cream interview with Deb Philman. We're doing it 30 minutes early because she has like a commitment on locals. And And so she wants to do at least the hour and a half. So we're shooting that for that. Tomorrow is fall back an hour. So really, it'll be in reality like, all right, because time is only a measurement of entropy, in my opinion. It's man-made. Time does not exist, really. Well, am I wrong? Right?
Time
Time's
is
just an
a
idea.
perception thing.
Yeah.
It's a perception thing that allows you to process because we have
Organize
a
your
finite
life.
capacity.
Yeah.
But it's still man-made. Just saying.
And no alien came down and did it, or no God did it. We did that. We done did that. We were like, hey, time is it?
Yeah. So
The only natural time is like the rotation of the Earth.
Yes.
But other than that, you know, meh.
Yes, exactly. So they ask what time it is. We'll tell them. All right. So everybody go to Odyssey. Let's see.
Odysseers.
Or ODYSEE, as I call them.
See, I always say Odysseers, and I know you say Odysseians. But when I first started using Odyssey, I didn't know what to call people on Odyssey, and I was like, Odysseers? And that just kind of stuck.
That works.
Odysseans.
I have YouTubians, Odysseers, Slain Saiyans, Cupcas, and Pumpkins who are smashing.
There it is.
Let's call the Odyssey people the odd ones.
The Twitch link too.
The oddballs. Okay, do you guys not think Levine looks like if Ben Stein had been obese and had gastric bypass surgery and then transitioned into a woman? Or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know what I'm talking about? Ben Stein?
Yeah, I know
He
Ben
looks
Stein.
like a used to be fat Ben Stein.
Right.
I remember when he did that show, Win Ben Stein's Money.
Funny, yeah, on Comedy Central.
Yeah.
Yep. He's also
Bueller.
the teacher in Ferris Bueller's Day
Bueller.
Off. Bueller.
Yeah, did you know he was an economic advisor to Reagan at one point?
I think I did hear that.
Dude, he's got all kinds of he's like Christopher Lee. It's like once you find out that dude's got a lot more going on than he lets on.
Yeah,
I
he's like a really, he always plays like the nerdy, like smart, very deadpan dude, but he's
Very
actually
deadpan.
pretty funny, and he is actually pretty intelligent and like
He is very funny. Yes, no, he's
Yeah.
a natural born comedian. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Groovy. All right, so
I like that kind of deadpan.
Let's go ahead and it's time to say goodbye to YouTube.
Adios.
All right, we're gonna do shit that pisses Susan off now for the next hour.
Here.
And
Everything Susan does pisses us off, so.
Yeah, she can kiss it. Want to try to be nice. Be a nice boy. All right. And we're ending it. Bye.
Later, guys.